What's up, everybody? This is Ed. We're back with another video, another upload, another topic. Shout out to Red Supreme. I've been listening to his content for, fairly recently. And I like how the brother keeps it real. I love how the brother tells it like it is. It's funny. As long winded as I am, I do tend to appreciate YouTubers or people that upload information that can do it. They can communicate a thought in like 9 minutes, 10 minutes or less. You know, I'll play their videos at 1.5 playback speed, depending on how they talk. And it allows me to go through a lot of content. Shout out to the brother. Make sure you subscribe to him. Definitely hook him up because he's pretty much, real dude just uploading his opinions on here and good conversation. So with this video, he's talking about black men dating fat women, or not dating but wanting fat women, fucking fat women behind the scenes. So let me say this like this. First, if you're gonna go watch the video, watch the video. This is not me so much. Don't think of this as a rebuttal but more of a reaction, because you know what my opinion on these topics are. And generally, if I upload a video, it's going to be to counter a point. So people will make assumptions about it. Videos, 10 minutes, 1.5 playback speed. And, which will bring it down about like 6 or 7. So go have at it. That being said, link is in the description for the video. Or I think I'm going to add them, because I'm going to try that, because that's actually good rather than putting it in the description. That way y'all can subscribe. And I'll put the link in the description. But anyway. And also I did a video on this before. A couple of days ago when it first uploaded. But I decided not to upload that. Now if you're in my Telegram, I may upload it there. But I'm not going to say I was wilding out. But, I said some shit that it wasn't on him. It was really what I think about niggas that be fucking fat women that I know niggas are gonna get emotional about. Because I made it very, very clear as to what I really feel about dudes that do that. Because quite frankly, I think y'all are collectively fucking up black men's image when you all do that. But I'm gonna redo this a little bit. So here's the deal. His main point is there's a lot of black men, which I do agree with, will say on the one hand they don't like fat women, but they're having sex with them. You can kind of point this to the I don't single mothers, but having sex with them. But it's a little bit different because a single mother can still look good versus a fat woman is a fat woman. My thing on it is this, and I'm going to start here with the kind of constructive stuff. One of the main issues that I have, that I appreciate what he did, is he has a picture where you can see at least what he's saying when he says BBW. So at least I can visualize, okay, this is generally what he means when he says BBW. Now, if you look at this woman, the things that I think of mine is Rebecca Lynn Pope and Kevin Samuels saying how you look naked. You got a lot of chicks that they wear these girdles, all of that. We're not even, he mentioned the weave too. Obviously that comes damn near standard. Shout out to how the woman Monica Rambeau has on WandaVision. Her hair, I like that. But you have, so we already know there's some stuff under the hood, so to speak, as to what she got to make it look like that. So who knows if that's really what she looks like? Because when you see a woman that's kind of built like she was built, you know she's doing something to create that hourglass figure. Like, for real. And this is the type of shit that dudes that actually have options. Because you know what? Shout out to Kevin Samuels for his high value thing. That matters, but he's talking to a specific type of man. I want to generalize it more. And to me, what's relevant, the most relevant in the conversations I have, is not necessarily high value, but in demand. What is in demand? In demand, to not completely go off the rails, are guys that either have sexual currency, genetic currency, which pretty much is synonymous with the same thing, or economic currency, or a combination. They may have one that really makes them pop, or they have so if you're a broke dude, but you got genetic currency, meaning you got the height, the look that these women want, sexual currency, you can even already use social currencies. You can put certain currencies together that make up for other things. Because we know these women value sex and how a dude looks over money. Black women, we know that. We know even other races of women, if you have sexual access, you can look the part enough. If you look the part enough, you can get at least sexual access. We know this. We know this is true in America. Black women can be the worst about it, but we know this is generally true. I'm not gonna act like dudes that ain't got that much money can't tap white chicks. They may not be brought out, but they can get it, right? So let's stop acting like money is like the main is one of the main things that these women are selecting. This is kind of goes back to Ron Will's select and non-select. What makes you select things? And he talked about money and status, mass men, Mr. Goodbar. So I'm not gonna act like this hasn't been said before, but you niggas, y'all for some reason just y'all needed to be in a fucking prerequisite class before you get to his, how life works one-on-one. Fine. But that's where we're at. And so when I say a man with options, that's what I mean. So if you have options, you have leverage. Money can give you leverage, but options, your ability to switch out women and get access to be pre-qualified or even be able to develop access to a lot of women gives you leverage that is much easier to maintain than necessarily money, because you can throw a lot of money at it and bitch don't give a fuck, because that's not really speaking to her, because a lot of these women they don't care like that unless you got like rich money, and even then are they really worth the money it'll take to keep them under control? Usually they're not. So going back to it is, you have dudes, if you have options, dudes are not going to deal with that. They're not. And this is why I typically associate dudes that they deal with big bitches with being broke. Fuck the exceptions. The exceptions don't disprove the rule. You all will give me a 1 out of 10 scenario and try to tell me that that's the scenario. And then those niggas are not necessarily fucking big bitches consistently. They may just have one chick that being a BBW ain't go get in the way of him trying that throat out. So I usually associate that with niggas being broke, aka homosexuality. Or I associate that with niggas that don't have game. Which ironically, if you look at the game niggas, which I'm not saying Red Supreme is, you notice as much shit as they talk, they never talk about niggas with big bitches ain't got no game. I've yet to hear that little like Tourette statement. Nigga, if you complain about black women, then you ain't got no game. But you never hear these niggas say, well, if you fuck fat bitches, then nigga, clearly you ain't got no game. You never hear that. You notice that. So that's how I look at it. And dudes will forever talk about, nah, nigga, you just hating. These women look good. I'm like, no. We need to be very clear on what a BBW is. And this is why I did the thumbnail the way I did it. The women that I put up there, I would not consider BBWs. Now, some of you all may have a difference of opinion, and you all can. That's actually one of the main reasons I decided to do this video. Because I would definitely like his opinion on that. I would like to do a panel, and I'm not talking about where I get the commenters, but I'm talking about I get some good people. Like maybe Sigma, Ramil, Supreme, some other people. Hell, even Platinum. Because he was always good with that. And BGS or somebody, and we really go through, okay, this chick is a BBW, this chick is thick, this chick is slim thick, this chick is thin. Because the problem is, this shit means different things to different black men. And that's what's most annoying about this conversation, which is why I'm glad he put a picture up. The chick that he's got, I believe that's a BBW. And you can tell because I bet you she got girdles on, because that hourglass figure is usually not created the way that is. Images can be very deceiving. This is why a lot of times you gotta look at videos and just to see how these chicks are really built. And when you see women that they don't like to show their midriff a lot, or they like to focus shit on their chest, and this is not always the same, but because it could be just they're insecure about it, that says a lot. And what it is a lot of dudes, and this is another thing, we don't talk about the value of sexual access. Black men are not really real about that. We like to talk about it in the religion of game and shit. But we don't really quantify the actual value of having sexual access. And this is one of the biggest reasons, in my opinion, why a lot of niggas will deal with big women. Because big women are easy sexual access. But now it's kind of like how when dudes go to DRs to the point where you fucked up the market, to where the market now, these women are now getting a big ass head. Social media is blowing their heads up by thinking because they have sexual access to any nigga, that means something. And this is why, and I may do another video with this, a woman admitted, a lot of these women are starting to readily admit they don't want fat men. Fat women believe they can get thin men, which is telling you everything you need to know. And that's not judged, by the way, in the with black women. Glenn and Cameron talked about this, how you have fat white women. So people clearly have an opinion on black men based on what black men are doing. And this video is really going to be targeted to really not pointing out the women, but pointing out what the men do. Now, when you look at the women in the pic in my thumbnail, the middle one is Betty Crocker, the other one is Bria Miles, and the other one, the one on the right, is she's half German, half like African, but she lives in Germany. Most of you niggas are not getting women like that. A lot of you niggas are getting fat women, and then you just saying she got some ass and some titties to justify that shit. For easy sexual access, because you've replaced your mother with that bitch. And then you want to sit there and try to say, well, I don't live with my mama. But you deal with all of these problems because essentially you've replaced one matriarch for another. And a lot of you niggas do live with your mom. That's just not your biological mother. And when you piss her off, she show you how much of your mama she is. And this is not aimed at content creators. This is not even aimed at niggas in this space. I'm talking about what I see out here in black America with black men. And a lot of you, and so it becomes, when you look at things like sexual access, that's a conversation that needs to be had that has not been had. Because the shit it's like energy, and it'll start manifesting in other perverted areas. It's a reason why ADO's black men tend to have the biggest propensity for fucking fat bitches compared to any other black group in the diaspora. There's a reason for that. Because people will say, well, the white beauty standard, which I fuck all that shit. When I hear another man say that, I blank out. Because we're black men. Most black men, even the ones that are attracted to white women, are not really attractive. They could pick a pog, like a chick like the chick in the middle. Maybe a little bit thinner than that. Versus like a skinny white bitch with a flat chest. They're picking her. So let's cut the fucking shit about the white beauty standard. It's a way of kind of justifying shit that shouldn't be justified. And there's a reason why I selected the picture that I selected of Bria Miles too. Because, I wanted y'all to see, like, I understand what you want, and I'm not hating on what you want as far as the body type. What I'm mad about is the fact that a lot of you all have allowed, because you all have poverty, you all have created a culture of poverty and broke black manhood that justifies this shit to the point where everybody else has to deal with it. And Red Supreme was coming at it from a point of view of like what you like and be open about what you like. Well, I don't really disagree with that. Because personally, I want to know how pervasive this shit is. But my thing is, don't complain about black women being fat. And this is something, to be fair, that Danielle has talked about. I'm not going to act like Danielle loved the breakdown. I'm not gonna act like I've never heard this. Don't fuck it. And I dismissed it, and I still to a certain extent. But I do believe what she says, especially where she lives. That niggas will want chicks to fatten up. And like I said, I want to redo this video because I kind of started to go along a track of what I really think about niggas that do this. But I'm gonna suffice to say that you're not gonna show, like, you're gonna be hard pressed to show me any successful black men that are with fat women. And if they are, like Antoine Fuqua, they weren't fat to begin with. You're gonna be hard pressed for that. And this is one of the reasons why, when a lot of these niggas want to talk about how they don't respect dudes that date out, well, this is the alternative that you all are offering. And then you're trying to sell it as, well, black men like fat women. If you like a woman that borderline can compete with you in weight, rather than, I'm gonna just tell you, I question how many marbles you have. Now, I get that black men are willing to fuck, black men will fuck anything. I get that. But I want you all to understand that you all doing that is just like black people willing to eat chitlins and shit. You all really need to ask yourselves, why do you like that? We talk about women and why black women, deal with shit that ultimately has a negative outcome for them. Well, this is one of these things you can flip out. Well, I like a chick with ass and titties. I like all the women in this damn thumbnail. Is that in fact, prior woman, if I wanted to show a woman it's a good example, it's type in the Sherelle show. My thing is, that's not what you niggas are getting, though. You niggas, a lot of you niggas are getting obese women, and then you're trying to, in your mind, it's just like fucking Wonder Woman 1984, where she saw Steve Trevor, but that was another dude. That's what you all are doing. That's a psychological issue. Now, some of y'all are doing it because it's easy access. But what happens is when it becomes like a cultural issue, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's really an issue. And then I'm not blaming the women, but again, remember what I said. White supremacy exists. We make it way too easy for it to run. The gynocracy exists. We make it too easy to run. And this is one of these things where we validate that obese shit. And a lot of you niggas on the low are undercutting what we're talking about. And probably I'm gonna start uploading pictures in a Telegram. I don't know if I really want to do a Facebook group, but I'm gonna start uploading pictures in the Telegram so you all can see what some of these women used to look like. Not the women in the thumbnail, but fat women versus when they got in shape. And I dare you to tell me that the women look better before than after. So anyway, I just wanted to start off the conversation. So what are your thoughts? Am I full of shit? Are these women really BBWs, or which ones do you think are? That I'm just saying, do you think that it is a problem with black men, like somehow having this sexual perversion to BBWs? Like, I'll give you another example, by the way. I think black men have a sexual perversion to wanting women that are older than them. These are psychological issues that have menaced, I'm going to start calling them social mental illnesses, because they operate outside of the realm of what other men are doing. And even other men in the African diaspora. And when you understand that we're in a unique situation, you have to have a clear mind in looking at that type of stuff. So what are your thoughts? Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. What do you think about a show that I would like to have doing this? Do you all think that would be do you all think that would be helpful and entertaining? Any excuse to show a whole bunch of chicks. Instagram thoughts, right? And yeah. So with that being said, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. We keep it real even when it hurts. And this is Edward signing off. Peace.